Sure. I was in corporate America myself, working at a Fortune 10 as an executive, and I saw my sisters who were stuck in the middle of the leadership pipeline, and either they were spewing out or they were hanging on for dear life. And these were folks with plenty of years of experience, but they weren't going anywhere. And when I say going anywhere, I mean going up the ladder.
I always think in life, and it can look like many things, you should always be growing, and that's so key. One of the things that you did is you wrote No Thanks. Your 8-year-old daughter wrote No Thanks for Girls as well. What are the messages in these books?
Yes, core to both the books is about understanding who you are and what your value is and what you bring to the table. For the little girls, it really is about self-esteem, but in both books, it's about confidence. And we're undergirded with applied positive psychology, so you see that there are 7 affirmations in both books.
I love it, and I love the focus on the positivity. One thing that was interesting, we were speaking on the phone yesterday. You said you really learned a lot of these lessons at the age of 46.
Yeah.
Your daughter is 8 years old, writing a book, embracing these ideals. As a mom, how does that feel to watch your daughter at 8 embracing ideas that some of us, frankly, never learn?
Right. You know, it's important to model the right behavior, and sometimes you're modeling behavior and you don't even know it. So August 2020 is when I first published No Thanks. July 2020, I'm in there frantically getting edits in, and of course, you know, we're in the lockdown, so she's in online school upstairs, and she winds up downstairs in my home studio. Mommy, I want to write a book. And I'm like, oh, that's great, honey, maybe one day you will. And then she says, no, I want to write something like Little No Thanks or No Thanks for Girls. And it just struck me. And that's the lesson that I like to share with parents. When your children come to you and have an idea that's worthwhile, get behind them.
Yeah.
And so we hired a children's editor to edit her stories and a children's illustrator. And before long, in 2021, the book released.
I love that lesson that you said for parents, and it's so true. When you're at home, if you have a family that supports your ideas, you carry yourself with a confidence in the world because you feel that you deserve to be heard. Now, I want to talk about some of your lessons. You've coached some really impressive individuals, but you're going to share some of your secrets, your lessons with our audience this morning.
Absolutely.
So I asked you to identify 3 top lessons that you have, and you said the first lesson is bet on yourself.
Yes, you've got to bet on yourself. Part of that is actually understanding who you are and what value you bring to the table. And that tip is actually linked to the other 2 that we're going to talk about. But understanding what value you bring to the table means understanding your passions and your superpowers and how you can bring that special mix to the table to solve your one problem. And a lot of folks don't understand what their one problem they solve is. It's more than your title. It's more than your name. It's more than what you do. It actually is that thing that resides right in your purpose. And the book actually shares with you how to get there.
I think and you can tell when somebody's identified their purpose. I feel that you've identified yours.
Absolutely.
Which is empowering others. So the next one, and we talked about this a little bit, but it's knowing your value, really knowing yourself. I think women are afraid to really embrace their value sometimes.
Absolutely.
How do we do this?
Well, you know, it's really important to understand that you have